Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how I built my Stripe app directly inside of UChat and use it inside my chatbot to do all kinds of cool things like creating customers over at my Stripe account, create products, pricings and checkout pages as well. So before I'm going to build a flow directly inside the flow builder, let me show you how I built the app itself. If you go to your main dashboard overview inside of UChat, you have a My Contents tab on the left hand side. From there, you will be able to go to the first tab, which will be My Mini Apps, and you can create a new mini app by pressing the button on the top right corner. From here, you will see that we have a mini app version 2 and a mini app version 1. Mini app version 1 is JSON based, which I used for my Stripe premium app, and mini app 2 version 2 is more flow based. So depending on your use case, you can go with either one. Once you created your app, it will end up in this main overview and then you can select it. So if we go towards the second one from the top, the third one from the top, sorry. So this is the Stripe premium app. We can go towards the edit button. And from here on the left hand side, you will see some information like the description, the title, the cover image, the logo. But all the cool things happen on the right hand side, because there is where you will get to code your mini app. Now you do have to know some API call and you need to have some basic developer skills. So otherwise this will be a little bit difficult for you to create. But in short, it's pretty easy to do. So we have a few tabs on the right hand side at the top. As you can see, we have the authentication, we have the triggers, actions, sources, API scopes, and API token request. Now the developers will know exactly what this is, but for now, let's just go to the actions tab only. Basically, that's the only tab that I use to create this Stripe premium app. If we take a look there, you will see that it's a lot of coding, right? So in total, you will see it's about 415 lines, I believe. So that's pretty extensive, but there are quite a few things that you need to do for just one action inside of the premium app itself. So the first action that I created was to create a customer inside my Stripe account. And basically you will have a first look like name, create a customer, create a title, description, so create a new customer. Then we head over towards the form section, and basically this is the form section that you will see inside the flow builder as well. So these are the things that you are going to request of the user as well. And then you will be able to go and proceed towards the next step, which is basically creating your API call. And that's this step. So we have the request API URL, and we have all the available parameters appended inside the URL as well. Then we have the method. In this case, it's post, because we are going to create a customer over at Stripe. So we are going to post that data over there. Then we have the content type, the headers, right? The content type, authorization, and all this data is going to be fetched from the form section. So if we take a look in, for example, with the token right here, if we scroll up, you will see that the token here is also highlighted. And if we do the same for customer name, you will see that customer name is also highlighted. So the URL, the API request, takes the initial data that's being inputted inside the form and then outputs it inside the URL request itself. At the end, you will get a customer ID back if it's successful, right? So if the customer has been created successfully, you will see that reflected in you getting a customer ID back. So how does this look like in the front end, in the flow builder itself? If we take a look here, I just start with an empty flow, and you can once you install the premium app, you can use it in any of your chatbots, right? Because you install the mini apps at your workspace level, and then you can use that mini app for any available chatbot inside your workspace. So if we go with an action block, you will be able to go with the integration section, and from here you will see your basically all your integrations at the top, right? And at the bottom, you will see your installed mini apps. So for me, I have a few installed mini apps. So let's go towards the Stripe Premium app. If we go towards the edit action, you will see all the available actions here. So these are all the available actions that I created for my Stripe app. So we have the create customer, as I mentioned, create checkout page, create a price, create a product, customer info, so you can grab customer information back. You can get product information back. You can get all prices back. You can update the customer, update a pricing. You can also update a product. And last but not least, you can create a checkout page, of course, because that's the whole intention, right? So let's first create a customer. And then you will see basically the forms inside this API call. So this section, so we have the name token, which you will see here. Enter your API token, which is the description, right? We have the name, the email, and the description itself. So if we head over towards filling this data in, I grabbed my API token from Stripe and put it inside of a bot field because that's easier to use. Otherwise, you will need to copy and paste the API tokens every single time. So for me, I just have a bot field with API token, and I have my live and test API keys. So let's go with test API key. Then for the customer name, you can also use variables, of course. You can do first name, last name, or username. But for this, let's say UChat demo. The email we can just fetch from the email system field. And then we can also give a description towards this customer. Let's just call it UChat to Stripe demo. And then probably the most important action inside is the response mapping. So once all of this data has been filled in over at Stripe, it's time to receive the customer ID back and store that inside of a custom field. I already have a custom field for this, so that's the Stripe underscore customer underscore ID. I'm going to press save. And now if all goes well at least, we created our customer over at Stripe. Now, if we want to go towards the next step, maybe create a personalized product for this particular user, right? We can also go with create a product. So basically go with another action block, go with the integrations, Stripe Premium app, and then we can go and create a product. Again, you will be asked your token. So let's go with the Stripe API key. Now, there is a specific reason why I'm asking for the API key on every single action. And this is basically because if you connect your Stripe account normally in the UChat workspace, you only have one Stripe account that you can use, right? And I created this Stripe account that lets you basically connect to unlimited Stripe accounts because we are going to request your Stripe API key in every single action. So this way you will know that you can create unlimited or connect to unlimited Stripe accounts, and you don't have that restriction inside of your workspace. So that's the reason and the underlying thought of filling in your API token every single action. Let's call this product UChat demo. Let's go with the product description and let's say chatbot to Stripe. And then we have a product image URL. So you can just fill in any kind of image URL that you want to. Let me just go to my website and grab any of the available. I can copy this image address. So let's head over and just paste that in. Then you will get the product ID back, which is also important to grab. So let's go with the product ID and save that inside of a custom field again. And there we go. Now that we created a product, we need to attach a pricing to it, right? So we can just go with another action step again. And let's go with integration, Stripe Premium app, and let's go with create a price. By the way, if you go and create a price, I also made a note. So let's go back. And you can see if you want to create a price, be sure that you have created the product first before moving to this step, because a price cannot be created without having the product. And once pressing this action, you will understand why. So we need to fill in the API token again. And now the next step is requesting the product ID. And this is, of course, really important, because without the product ID that we just got back from creating our product, we cannot attach a price to it. So we can now just use the custom field product ID. And if you don't want to create a new product, you can also head over to Stripe. You can go to products, go towards the product ID. You will have the product ID on the top right corner. So you can just copy this and then just go towards UChat and just fill this in. Then we have the price currency. Let's just do USD. So that's American dollars. Price amount in cents. So that's the thing, that you need to do a little bit of conversion if you want to, but the price amount is always in cents. So for example, if we want to go with $10, then you will need to convert that into cents as well. So let's just go with 25,000 in this case. There we go. And then we have the response mapping and we get the price ID back, which is in turn also really important. So let's go with price ID. There we go. And basically now we have everything we need to create a Stripe checkout session, because we have the Stripe customer ID and we have the price ID. And basically those two things we need to create a checkout session. So if we take a look now, let's go and create our final action block or integration. And let's go with the Stripe Premium app again. Let's go with a checkout session. We need to fill in our test API key. And now we can also do redirects. So if a payment is successful, you can redirect them to a thank you page or back towards a successful payment flow inside your chatbot. And you can do the same with a cancellation of the payment. So if they cancel the payment and move out, they will be redirected as well. And then we need the customer ID, which we created, right? So let's go with customer ID. And then we need the price ID. So let's go with the price ID. Here we go. And then the product amount. In this case, let's just set it to 1. The most important step that you do not need, that you cannot forget, is the response mapping. So now we will need to map the checkout URL. So if we go there and let's go with Stripe, I have a checkout link custom field, and we will use this to display this towards the user. So let's just have a message. And this message will contain, if we press this button, let's say we call this checkout. And the next step will be to open a website, and the website will be the Stripe checkout link, because we saved the checkout URL there. So let's test this entire live demo out. Let's go and preview this inside of Facebook. There we go. And as you can see, I have the checkout page, right? So if I press this, we should have a checkout. But first, let's take a look at Stripe and let's see if the customer has been created. So if we refresh, you will see that we have the UChat demo customer with my email address. And let's go to the product section to see if we have the initial product. And as you can see, we have the UChat demo product with the image URL that we created with our pricing of $250. So let's head over to Messenger again. and press the checkout page to see if the checkout link to see if we are getting redirected towards the Stripe checkout. And as you can see, I'm also in test mode, so there's no issues of me just checking out. So let me just fill in the Stripe credentials. And you can also save my info for secure one-click checkouts if you want to, but we can just press the button pay, and then let's see if it works, yes or no. So we're getting this redirection, and let's see if we head over to my website, because if we head over to my website, that means that the payment has been successful. And if we take another look inside this last checkout session, you will see if the payment has been successful, redirect back to markvandermeet.com and otherwise to google.com. And you can see that we got redirected back to my website. So this is how you can use the Stripe mini app that I built. If you want to grab this, I will leave a link inside the video description. It's only $19.99 for individual purchases, and members of my membership, the Chatbot Marketing Accelerator, get all my mini apps for free. So either just pay a one-time fee of $19.99 or just sign up for my membership and you will get access to all the templates, workshops, and all the mini apps as well as I am developing them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, consider dropping a like because it will help me reach more people and help them implementing chatbot marketing into their own business. If you want to get notified as soon as new videos go live, press that subscribe button and the bell notification to the right of it. For now, have a great day, take care and talk soon.